What the hell?
I don't know if I learned anything.
How did Clover get this thing on my screen? All right, here we go.
I learned that people on this panel really like the life card.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Tonight's episode, photo finish.
Good evening. Oh, I got the wrong thing up here. Don't be confused. I guess I'll leave that up there. All right, we're good to go. So I think it is working. Give me some feedback on the audio. We'll share the screen here and start out the show. Each week we go live to talk about what actually happened in 2A. None of the garbage, none of the distracting, shiny things that they dangle in front of us to distract us from what's really going on, big picture. So that's what we're all about here. So here's the deal. I just shared the screen. Don't be concerned. I have a very wide monitor. This much of the screen is for y'all to comment on. So you can use your keyboards. You can wiggle your finger on your glass. You can make words happen. And then through the magic of Al Gore's internet, words will show up and then we can interact. That's what it's all about. So first thing we're going to do is open up this video in front of y'all. So we're looking at this video that you're even watching. A couple of things going on. We got a poll over here. 3 human beings so far have voted somehow, but they haven't commented. That's weird, but whatever. Got 3 votes for how this week is for 2A. 1 vote for great, 2 votes for good. So let's get some responses going here. How you justify those positions. All right, so now we'll scroll down a bit, and what we're going to see is the description of this video. And one of the things that we do each week is list in the description of this video all the stuff that's good, mostly here on YouTube. A couple of things that are off on the internet or whatever, but because of YouTube's bunch of jerks, they do not like it if you link to things off their platform. So what we're starting to do, what we've been doing, is posting this exact thing over on our Patreon page. So what we're going to start doing is taking that and enhancing it with a place called guntube.org, which is a better place to host your video if you are a gun person. So if we go to GunTube and we browse, we can see that a bunch of people are using their website, and that's what we're going to look at tonight. Also, there's a place called gunstreamer.com, and that's another video hosting platform, and we'll go take a look at what's been going on over on the gunstreamer.com as well. YouTube doesn't like us to link to either one of those. We also have a platform called the Instagram, and we'll go look a little bit over there tonight because I don't look at that enough. And it's one of my favorite platforms other than stupid YouTube. All right, well, I don't know how that squeaky fan back there is sounding for everybody, and it's bad enough when we get, crickets and stuff in here. So I'm going to go turn off that fan. That means y'all are going to get a commercial. We bank a bunch of commercials here in the software for times like this so that we can promote, talk about different channels out there that are doing good stuff. My favorite show each week is Locked and Loaded Latinos, and I'm going to play, thank you very much. Somebody bought something from our Gear website store. I suppose I should mention that once in a while. We do have a store, and on Fridays, we have free stuff. It's Free Patch Friday, so there, if you click on that link and you purchase something from our store, there'll be free stuff. I think what we'll do is a big Free Patch Friday giveaway extravaganza tomorrow, because we did get a couple of orders from the store this afternoon. I appreciate that very much. We never know how it's going to go. But since that's our income, it's awesome to actually have some. So thanks to whoever just purchased something. It makes a little noise go off here, as you heard, a cash register noise. So there's the link. These are the things we'll be looking at. I'm going to put that commercial on for Locked and Loaded Latinos while I go shut off my one fan over here. So like it says on their thing there, I just horked the intro off of their video. It's not even their new intro, it's their old intro, but I just horked it and then added times that they go live at the top of the screen there so that when I leave the mic like that, there's a little commercial for you to watch. So let's dig in. So normally what we do on this show is talk about what's happened on YouTube. I could almost care less about the news of the day unless it has something to do with guns and it's useful. Most of this recent, I don't know, maybe I'd say 18 months, 24 months, news has been used as a weapon always, but in the last 24 months, it's been used as a weapon to distract gun owners and to confuse us, to give us too much stuff to deal with. And the natural reaction of most people is to attempt to deal with the most important things. And that gets difficult when there's multiple, more than one thing happening. So without paying attention too much to the news of the day, which of course is important, but not the focus of this show, we're going to focus on the things that happened throughout the week that are 2A, and then a couple of things that I guess I discovered this week. So this is kind of a blog as well as a recap. So our goal with this video each week, and now with the blog post / newsletter thing I'm going to do, I think I kind of mentioned I've been doing this on Patreon. I'm planning to enhance the Patreon post, and then we'll send that out as a newsletter, maybe twice a month, because it actually takes quite a bit of time, depending on how much time we end up getting to spend on this kind of stuff. But it takes some amount of time to watch everything. That's no big deal, because I usually watch stuff while I'm doing something else, right? But then it takes a little bit of time to remember to put it all in here, and then if I forget, it takes a lot of time to go back and add it all in here at once. So once it's all in here at once, adding it over or pushing it over to the Patreon side takes a little bit of time. And like I said, working on the evolution of that. But my goal is not just to do it, but to archive so that if someone wanted to go back and find something, all the keywords and stuff would make it potentially, or allow it at least to show up in the search results. And then if found, be a useful piece of knowledge out there. Of course, for anyone who looks for it specifically or has it saved, they'd have it as a useful piece of resource as well. Oh, snap. Thank you very much. So we'll definitely be doing a big Free Patch Friday thing tomorrow, maybe during the Ask Gun Questions, which is one of the live shows we do each week. So thanks a lot. I don't like to go over and look at the orders as they come in, but we already had some pretty decent orders come in earlier today, and that's much appreciated. We are in a battle against taxes and bills, and while we've been pretty steady with the bills. If I didn't have a giant tax bill, it'd actually be pretty sweet this year as far as being kept up. I'm usually in the rear and trying to sell things to keep even. This year we've been doing pretty good. I could have almost just focused on 2A this year if I would have just ate ramen, but the tax bill is just murdering me. So we'll continue to sell stuff. I sold a bunch of guns last week, but still got more crap to sell. Patreons are getting privy to that. Anyway, thanks for the sale over there. We'll keep going. Like I said, this is the stuff mostly from YouTube. Check out the Patreon or the newsletter for a more in-depth one. Let's see. So as we go through here, what do we got? I wrote some of this stuff early last week. In other words, I started setting up this show, I think, on Sunday or Monday. So whatever I wrote here is from earlier in the week. Difficult weeks require real attention. We get to coast through life most of the time. When you are challenged, instead of being scared, annoyed, or offended, try rising to the occasion and accomplishing objectives. That may require an awareness of the terrain and a knowledge of the players and their games. And those are for each of us to figure out. Thank you very much. We can make those tasks more manageable, and together it is possible to discover methods and techniques to master those tasks. This week's many good things happened for 2A, and there's a bunch of them. So I don't know if I was sensing some apathy. I don't think it's apathy, frustration for sure. And then the tendency to be overwhelmed gives people an excuse to quit. And when people, mammals, humans, Americans at least, quit, we look for an excuse to quit. And when a whole bunch of us are, I don't know if anybody's ever had to run. Have you ever had to run with a group of people, maybe on a team or some other situation where you have to run, you get in trouble if you stop running? When that happens, you start looking around at each other and looking at who's going to quit. And as soon as two people think they're going to quit, then there's a third person, and then it's a whole different story. So that's what we're looking at, is a bunch of people that ain't figured out that we can run a lot farther than we know we can. And when that happens, everybody starts looking at each other for an excuse to quit. And we just got to get over that. We get over it pretty quick. All it takes is one or two people not quitting in front of everybody. Then you realize what a mammal can do. And you're challenged to make your mammal body do it, right? And it's all it really takes is our social body. We just need a couple of examples of those who are doing it, accomplishing it, and then people will follow, right? People figure out, once there's a path, people figure out a better path or an easier way to take that path, or a way to bring people with them on that path. And then the path becomes a trail, and then it's a highway. Then it's an established thing, and then it's a tradition, and then the kids are like, I'm not going down that path, and we got to start all over again. That's how it works. So remember, at some point you were that kid going, I'm not going down that path. Well, don't expect the new kids to go down your path, right? I think that's what I was trying to get across, that, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff to do, and you can either sit around being annoyed and scared and offended by it, or just start doing stuff. And once you accomplish little things, the bigger stuff happens. That's all the world is big stuff that, you know, that is an accumulation of little stuff. So I guess my advice is to do something little, do a couple of little things, accomplish, inspire others, and keep accomplishing, or quit, I guess. All right, drinking lemon water. After about 9 o'clock, I quit drinking regular caffeine or nothing. It's 8 o'clock here now. All right, so let's see. So check out our posts on the community page. So that's what we're going to look at first, because I'm trying to explore ways to look at stuff that isn't just other people's YouTube stuff, and that's all YouTube really wants us to link to. I wanted to link to some of the stuff on our community page. So on our YouTube channel, because we're old and we're huge and we're better than other channels, we've got a home page. Every other channel gets that. We got a video page. They give that to every kind of channel. Playlists, for some reason, they give those to anybody, even the commoners. Community channels, you got to earn, right? You got to be big enough to get that. Membership, I don't know what that is. That's for people that join. I have like 3 members, DJ, some other 2 people. This dude, see how he has some specialness because he's a member? Nobody's a member over here. We got a store, which lets us put these 4 things in there, because every time I try to put anything else in there, they don't approve it, but they like these 45 ACP socks that no one's ever bought. I should probably take them down. This Bacon Pancakes t-shirt that no one's ever bought. Actually, nobody's ever bought anything, so I'll put a list in it. We get a channels tab, which we use. This lists to the people that we're subscribed to, and then an about tab, which we use. It links to our other presences online. So anyway, most people aren't even using their whole YouTube channel because they don't understand it or they don't value it. We do, and we use it all, and we value it quite a bit. You can see I've got 23 posts scheduled to come up, and those are mostly polls and Pre-Patch Friday stuff, reminders about other channels and stuff. But that's the kind of stuff we use our channel tab, our community tab for, and that's why I figured I'd scroll down and take a look at some of the stuff. I've been posting these reminders that the ATF is responsible for alcohol, tobacco, and then firearms, right? Alcohol, 39,000 deaths each year. Wait, hold on. 95,000 deaths each year. Tobacco, almost 500,000 deaths each year. And then firearms, 1/3 of alcohol. 39,000, and 6 to 10 of those are suicides. So the real number is more like 11,000. And that's where it's frustrating when they focus entirely on firearms when their responsibility entails so much more. It is Free Patch Friday, so all those people that bought stuff at the store, thank you very much. Like I said, that's how we are battling taxes. And you'll get free stuff. We did get a new part for the machine today. It's not perfect, but at least it is letting me sew stuff. So I'll find out what else I can do to keep that thing going, or also just sit in there and nurse it, and we'll hopefully get some new custom stuff coming out. But we do have lots of stuff on the store, so thanks to people who are buying stuff over there. Like I say, we'll probably do some sort of big free patch extravaganza tomorrow. Okay, so after somebody's show, somebody was sucking up to infringement the other day, and I decided to make a post over here. Is it better to master compliance with stupid laws like that stupid import ban? Everybody's all like, oh, how can we profit and live with this new import ban? Or we could just remove it, right? So it looks like 99% of people would rather remove it. Somebody was saying that they made the first 6.8 video or something. So I was like, pretty sure we've made 6.8 videos forever. So there's one from 2009. Part of the big project earlier this year that didn't happen was the QA resource handbook. I was trying to use some of the information gathered there and post in it. So this was some of the hunting stuff. Trying to, again, inspire some people to think about different aspects of the hunting or the gun community, I guess. We did a chat earlier this week looking at the numbers from the comment periods. Remember those things? The period, the receiver redefinition of receivers ended last week. Pistol brace ends next week, next Wednesday. We had an off-air chat with Patreons this week. Those actually were super awesome. Thank you very much for the Patreons. I know that I'd learned that a lot of y'all listen to this chat after the fact, so I'm a lot less concerned about these people that are watching it live. They mean nothing to me anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But it is great to know from chatting with Patreons, how many of you are listening after the fact. So since that's not yet possible with the whole time being linear thing, for y'all to leave a comment live, it is cool to have done those off airs. We'll continue to do them. So if you're a channel member here on YouTube, which there's only 2 of, or a Patreon, which we have 162 Patreons, thank you very much for everybody that keeps us going. We do off-air chats on Mondays now, and also Saturdays, and then tonight, actually, potentially after the chat. So I guess we need some feedback if you'd like to have an off-air tonight, because if not, I got other stuff I can do. Let's see, got another series of videos I'm working on. Had a chat with, Clover had a chat, and I was trying to get the word out about it, and he broke the news about NRA canceling pretty much 3 days before they canceled. And then Crump, what is he doing? Oh, this was when he's talking about the Glock rifle barrels. That was pretty neat. This is a thing I had scheduled to talk about people. It's talking about Walt. Then we're going to talk about it tonight. We had a planning trip for the Dragon Man's machine gun shoot coming up. And then, of course, we did have a watch party for the movie Milius, where we just went live and broadcast the movie. YouTube kept shutting me down and eventually banned the video, which is bullshit. I should be able to do whatever I want on YouTube. So we did a poll, and everybody else agrees that I should be able to do whatever I feel like on YouTube. So suck it, YouTube. And then we did ask gun questions. That's where we'll probably stop. Saturdays, we also go live and we answer gun questions. Since 2007, we've been hosting a website called Ask Gun Questions, and anybody can ask a question over there. It goes into a database, and on Saturdays, we go live and we answer those questions. All right, so that's on our community tab. I suggest you go check out the community tab on other people's channels, people that you might enjoy. Because if they're not using their community tab, pick somebody. Somebody pick somebody and we'll go to their community tab, right? When you go to their community tab, you can leave them a note. You can say, hey, why don't you use your community tab? Or I enjoy your videos. Thank you for hosting them. Or something like that. And then if they're using them, you can communicate with them in their community tab. And people post things that have nothing to do with videos, such as what I'm doing. So you might find it interesting. Most people don't use it, but some people do use that community tab. All right, so why don't we jump back to YouTube stuff. So each week, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens. Think about it. This is Friday night, so that means there's still stuff that happens after this. And then there's all day Saturday, then all day Sunday, and then there's 5 other days of all days worth of stuff, right? And then there's all day Friday before the show. That's 7, if you do the math, that's 7 days minus just a couple hours worth of content, and it all sucks compared to Locked and Loaded Latinos that is on every Sunday afternoon. So I always link to it at the top of this video so you don't have to waste your time watching other crap or garbage instead of it, because it's almost always, well, it is the best thing you could watch for a couple hours each week. Besides that, there was some other stuff that happened, and that's what's linked here. We got Suicide Prevention Saturday, Death and De-escalation. This is a great series. I watch it whenever I can. They shouldn't do it every Saturday, but this was a good one. We're going to open it up, and I'm going to use my notes from the video to remind me what was so good about it. So you see I left notes here. That not only gives her feedback, but it also lets me communicate with any other person who watches this video into the future. Right on. Thanks for joining in. Let's see. So these are cool. Thank you for the series, because I like her series, and I want to thank her for that. I started listening because of the two-way strategies against suicide perspective, right? 2 out of 3 firearms deaths are suicide, period. And they use those against everybody. And there's reasons for those suicides. And if we can prevent the suicides, not only do we prevent those gun deaths, but we prevent deaths. They don't have much interest in preventing suicides. They have interest in removing the gun from the suicide person's hands. So I think that's an interesting aspect, and that's why I started to listen to her Suicide Prevention Saturday series. But I go on, but you offered some really interesting ideas about how we deal with death in the culture. For what it's worth, going through a portion. Oh, okay, so she has an interesting this is only a 15-minute video, and actually she gets to about the 5-minute point, realizes that because of Facebook she had to do it again. So it's actually, and that's what I kind of mentioned here, going through a portion of it twice wasn't the worst thing in the world, because it was insightful for those of us on YouTube that got to watch her go through everything sort of lengthy and then abbreviated. We got to see her insight, right? Her perspective, and what she prioritizes, and the stuff she talked about. But it was super interesting, and it's in society's relationship or perception of death and stuff. And let me see if I can find it.
And those of you watching YouTube Live, I apologize. 2 out of every 3 gun deaths they talk about in the media are suicides by gun. And
is audio okay?
We're going to talk about death and de-escalation tonight. And the main message I have about death is that everybody dies. And currently there are many people in the world who are trying to avoid death, and they're avoiding living right now because they're afraid to do stuff. Hang out with family, go out and party, visit, be social, go to group events, that sort of thing. So death, hello, Mike, is one of those things in America we're not awesome at dealing with. So the reason I want to bring it up is because it's kind of like mental health, or it's part of mental health, right? Is understanding that there is no day that is promised to us. We do not know what tomorrow will bring. And that was a very long drive, and we did it all today. I don't even know if it went up yesterday or not. But
I think she's talking to people on Facebook there, because she was live when she did this.
So anyway, being aware of things you are afraid of. So death is one of those great things. I was like, oh, surprise when it happens. And the truth of the matter is it's going to happen to all of us at some point in time. And my biggest sadness right now is watching so many people being afraid of dying. And because they're so afraid, they're not living. They're not seeing family and friends. They're not going out and doing.
I'm not going to watch the whole video, but I think that gives you an idea that it's not like morbid or preachy. It's just insightful. And I really do recommend it. I tried to leave notes there to give myself some cue, and it was, I'm still not remembering exactly what it is, but it's worth listening to that 15 minutes. Let's see. So next we're going to get into some, I was going to say some events, but I kind of got them out of order here. So I just wanted to post an announcement about the Solutionary Summit, which is Majtre, and well, he sets it up. Actually, I'll let that happen in a second here. He sets it up, and it's well, like he says, solutionary. So instead of just being a seminar or like a speaking event, he challenges folks to bring solutions, bring ideas for action to the table, and then so it's a bit more proactive, I guess, than your typical let's get together, introduce ourselves, and complain, right? least that's from my experience watching it or whatever. It's a pretty neat event, and it's been going on for a bit now. What is it, 3 years? I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 years. And it's happening in September. It's happening in Miami. Locked and Loaded Latinos will be covering it live, I believe, or at least broadcast, or at least filming it. And then it's a bunch of different people who are thinking outside the box and reach into all kinds of audiences, not just guns for sure. And we'll watch their 50-second commercial and hopefully not get copyrighted for it.
I'ma keep on running cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
All right, well, I'm going to quit now because it's a minute long, and it's basically just mentioning all the people that are in it. You get the gist. It's all fancy and high-produced, and I don't know who half the people are, but I do know the gun people in it. So I know that there's going to be some 2A and gun-related stuff, at least the influence of gun-related stuff there. But it's I don't want to say it's libertarian, but it's definitely third-party type, not your typical politics and boilerplate back and forth. So it's pretty interesting, and I don't know if you're able. Oh, the other thing I was going to suggest is that if you're able to get there, I'd be curious to see somebody else doing coverage of the event. Events are going to be, I suspect, one of the new elements going forward in 2A, and Maj is cutting ground in so many different ways that it's just, I'm sure that his event planning and stuff is going to be figurative, or what's the word? It's going to be, it's going to influence future events, I suspect. So I'm curious to see how these develop, and it's awesome to see him bringing people together in spite of all the craziness, but also bringing such a variety of folks together focused on just getting things done. And, you know, if you don't know, Maj Tre is Black Guns Matter, and that's free education at like in city settings or whatever. Just go out on the street, Philadelphia or whatever city, and then do like improvisational free firearms education, like introduction and orientation type of stuff. Saying Larry Sharps is explicitly libertarian. Yeah, and I don't know anybody on here as far as their political thing. I doubt there's any Democrats. There might be, but I don't know. And I'm sure some of these people might be like Republicans or maybe even the opposite, but I don't know. These are all like people that are probably into politics, except for like a couple of like Maj and Devin, and then Rhonda, I think, is, you know, usually talks about guns. I don't know. Like I said, I think they're probably more talking about politics and solutions to all kinds of things than just gun stuff. But whatever. It's one of the events. We're going to talk about quite a few events, I guess. I thought I had them all together, but I don't. So I'm going to jump back to just stuff that happened throughout the week. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to. It's not live, though, so it's separate than Locked and Loaded Latinos, would be Gun Freedom Radio. And, of course, Cheryl and Dan Todd have done Gun Freedom Radio for a while. They start out with this awesome intro.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
There's a couple of errors in the front of there, so let's go back and look at those errors. Nobody gets free pass when you got this many errors in it. First off, this. What's going on with
What we
this?
have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it.
Why, they couldn't afford to put the rest of the barrel on there? What's going on with that? That ain't no dissipator.
And then hand it to them.
This is obviously some grandfather teaching a grandson metric. This shouldn't be This should not. This is the kind of history we can forget.
with the well-taught lessons of how they
See how crazy it is? He's trying to explain how metric works to that kid.
in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend.
All right, that's enough cracking on. So they had How I Carry on. She is this chick or girl from Instagrams. They didn't link to her page, which is annoying. And then here's the deal. I tried linking to her page and it took my link away because they're using the YouTube, but they're not exploring YouTube. What do I mean by that? When you go to YouTube and somebody posts a thing, like let's go over to Instagram and let's open up Instagram. And now let's type in how, and watch, boom, How I Carry shows up. So this is that girl's account, right? I'm going to copy that and I'm going to go to this. And now I'm going to put in, boom, what's her name? Tara. Look at that. Ears ringing much. Here's Tara's IG, right? And then boom. Now I've made a comment and there it is. And I can click on it. Oh, it's like, hey, you want to leave YouTube? So what happens? I go back here and hit refresh. Oh, it's still there. But it'll eventually leave. And what'll happen is Gun Freedom Radio will have a section of their comments that say held for review, and they'll have to go in here and click on it. Anyway, I did that earlier and I figured that out. So this is her Instagram, and this is the kind of stuff she'll do. I'm going to try to find one that's good. She does a bunch of good ones, but some of them are funnier than others. So this is the kind of stuff she does. There's music. Oh, I'm probably going to get busted for that. So she does these, like, I think they're girl videos, like TikTok videos or whatever, but like gun stuff. And it's mostly like girl stuff, like, I don't like revolvers. I'm not allowed to have pink guns or whatever. But, girls got to make fun of stuff, I guess. Anyway, so she's got a pretty good Instagram. We're going to copy that and drop it here. If you like funny stuff that is like, I'm pretty sure it's all kid-friendly or family-friendly, then you'll like that. Also, she's an instructor and an advocate for guns and stuff. So it also says she's a member of the DC Project and the Virginia Citizens Defense League. So, she's active in a Second Amendment stuff or whatever. Anyway, so she's also a mom and, what are that? There's some mom out there doing Instagram, like witty Instagram stuff and being an advocate for 2A. It's almost like the face of gun ownership has already changed. What's next? Is she going to go to Washington and her state representatives and become a resource for them? Oh, yeah, she is. So her and like 49 other girls do that every year. And they're going in October to do some up training, some skills building and camaraderie in Florida. You can be their Bloomberg by going over to DC Project, type in DC Project into a browser. And when you do that, it's going to bring up a whole bunch of wrong things, but it might actually, I'm sick. It might actually bring up their website. You can go to the donate page under Act Now. You can type in any amount you want. You can shove some of your capitalism at them and make it possible for them, the girls, to go to Florida in October for some up training, some skill set development, like I say, some camaraderie, some learning how to work together on their off time meaning the time they took off from their jobs, paid to get there, and then took vacation from their job while they're doing stuff, right? And what they're doing is not going to Disneyland or like going to the NASCAR or going to ride horseback. Instead, they're going to learn about how to be better 2A activists, right? For everybody, for their children and stuff. So yeah, if you want to help them do that, so it's less of a financial burden for them, less of a burden on their families, then you could do that, because that's what volunteerism is all about, and capitalism. All right. So that's an interesting interview. Then we get Crump going live earlier this week. I think it was on Monday. And he was basically just going through a bunch of ATF import files that were leaked. He had gotten leaked to him. And it was kind of neat going through that stuff live and listening to them BS. I don't know if it was on that show or another one that his friend Flying Rich said he was going to send me some dragon fruit clippings. So dragon fruit, if you don't know, is amazing. It looks like awesome. This is what it looks like. They call it that because it looks like it's made out of dragon eggs. So it looks like this on the outside, but when you cut into it, it can look like that, or it can look like this with a red inside. I've seen them with like a yellow or pink, different color insides, right? This is what they look like. They're amazing. And then they're soft, so you can smash into them with your fingers or a spoon or a knife or whatever. They have no sharp edges or nothing. And this is what the plant looks like. It looks super cool. So you get these little things, and then you grow them, and they kind of grow like a vine, like a cactus, but I don't think there's any thorns on them. Maybe there is. I've never had one. So, yeah, these are like $20 to buy like a growing plant here in town. And if I go online and buy little pieces of it, it costs like money, and then they ship, it costs money to ship it. So, yeah, I haven't had any to play with before, and I'm not sure if they'll grow in Tucson or not, but I think he's going to send me a bunch. And if they do, then I'm going to have me a bunch of dragon fruit growing eventually. So if you've never eaten them, you can buy them at the store. They're going to cost you like $5 for one because they're not cheap. But they look like this, and they when you scoop into them, they're kind of like a kiwi maybe, or kind of like a watermelon. They taste a little bit like a pear and a strawberry mixed together. And they taste, they're kind of like the consistency of a watermelon and a pear. Really good, really freaking good. I can't even imagine what like dragon fruit juice would taste like, but I'm too cheap to buy it. Anyway, so that might have been that episode. And then also we found out about the Gen 5 Glock G17 being imported. So regular people don't care, but the Glock 17L is actually the awesomest of the 9mm. And they haven't made one in Gen 5 yet. So, they had to ask permission and blah, blah, blah. So they did. And now we know that's coming. Texture of dragon fruit reminds me of ice cream. It's creamy. I've never thought about getting it cold before. I've had it out of the refrigerator, and yeah, definitely. And you see all those seeds. You don't even really notice the seeds. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm a big fan of when he does it too, because it's really, literally real life. And it's kind of boring, so I'm glad that he does it in real life, because it'd probably be boring for him to just sit there doing it by himself. Speaking of Crump, he made an announcement. That's just a short video that he's been invited.
Today, I will be speaking at AmCon. AmCon is a Second Amendment news and journalism conference. I'll be talking about FOIAs and investigative journalism.
So I don't know how you get news and news and journalism out of AmCon, but anyway, that's what it is. And they invited him to talk about FOIA requests, which is interesting because they've never talked about anything interesting at AmCon before. I've only been to all of them except for last year when I didn't get an invite to their live thing that they did privately. But yeah, they've never talked about anything interesting before, so that'll be interesting. Let's see, then you'll get, I'm not going to watch, but somebody will tell us about it. You'll get Riding Shotgun with Charlie, had Brian Deal. You're like, who the hell is that? I've never heard of Brian Deal before, because he's just some guy that works at Aero Precision, which is a AR manufacturer out of Oregon, let's say. So that's kind of interesting, listening to somebody talk about their business. Riding Shotgun with Charlie is usually with somebody who's a Second Amendment advocate, occasionally a trainer. More recently, like he's had a lot of trainers on. He might have had manufacturers on in the past, but nothing like this. So this was pretty interesting. I'm not sure if Charlie's planning on doing that more or not, but that could open up a whole nother thing if he rides along with the industry instead of just Second Amendment. So why don't we end the poll, whatever we got going, because it's already figured out. So we got 15, only 11 watching. So that's good. We've got some kind of something's happening here. Something got rigged. Something's rigged here. So let's see. Average week for 2A wins. Well, let's find out what it is. I'm not going to do the math. Let the internet do the math. Oh, see how long this takes? That's censorship. That's how we know that YouTube is out to get my channel, because it takes so long for the polls to come up. It shouldn't take that long for a computer to do math. All right, so how was this week for 2A? What the hell I wrote? How as this week for 2A? No wonder nobody can figure it out. Average week for 2A? Wrong. Good week for 2A, that's the actual right answer. 20% bad week for 2A, that's actually extra wrong. So you're all extra wrong. Great week for 2A. Okay, you get extra credit. All right, so the next one will be, should, let's mansplain riding shotgun with Charlie. Should riding shotgun with Charlie allow manufacturers, is that how you spell it? Manufacturers to ride along? Yes. Okay. No. No. It is for all right. Oh, that's your two options. So either Charlie is allowed to have manufacturers, or you're going to restrict him to only Second Amendment people. It's up to you. He has to listen to you. All right. So now we're going back down to where that was. Riding shotgun with Charlie. All right. All right. I got a rag. So instead of ragging, let's go over to Gunstreamer. It's going to be the least. It's going to be the most boring of the things we're going to look at. So we're going to go to Gunstreamer. Gunstreamer ain't all that great. All right. Let's just put it out there. It's okay. It's better than nothing, but it ain't all that great. So we're going to go to latest videos. And some of the things you can see why it's not so great is when people want to, they can flood it with weird stuff. And they let pretty much anybody post over here. The good news is it is almost all gun stuff. Like weirdos haven't posted over here. And if they do, they filter them out of there. So it's almost all gun stuff. And the variety of stuff over here, in my opinion, is way better than YouTube. YouTube filters to me. And because of what you people that I watch do, it filters what you people do at me. And I can't help that. But this has none of that AI built into it. There's nothing at that level. So you're just seeing sort of a cross section, and you can't even dislike or block anybody over here. So you're going to see everything over here, which is interesting. So you're going to see the stuff that you would never see on YouTube and the stuff that you've asked YouTube not to show you. You think you've seen Armed and Feminine on riding shotgun? Heck yeah. Oh, I don't have his stuff open. Yeah, I'm almost positive. You're talking Kellyanne? She's been on there maybe a couple of times. I think she was on him on his show, or on his, got a million flies today. I don't know what happened, but a zillion flies moved into town. I guess I had opened the door at the wrong time, and about half a zillion of them came in here. They won't leave. I'm trying to kill them all. Yeah, I think she was on most recently when they went to Connecticut, but I might be wrong. When they had the Connecticut Citizens Defense League chat with Heller. All right, so I'm not going to mention everything over here, but I think by scrolling down, you can get an idea of the kind of variety. There's both garbage over here and stupid shit, and interesting stuff, and good stuff, and stupid stuff, and lame things. So it's a little different because you can't filter out like the Yahoos and the dipshits, but you get to see a bunch of what's happening out there. Not everybody uses the Gunstreamer. I'm not going to suggest you do, but if you're looking for stuff, there's some stuff over there. All right, now we'll go back. And now we're ragging on, I can't help it. I'm real and I'm authentic and I ain't paid off, and plus they're mean to me. So here we go. Women for Gun Rights, Kellyanne Pigeon. This is frustrating. So we were just talking about Kellyanne. That used to be what two names. I think it's Kellyanne. This is her interview.
All I tell them is,
Let's see, second interview in the Women of Gun Rights series.
show up with their lunch and come and have a good time. So
Kelly's a super pro, so she's over here trying to adjust her mic and stuff.
I don't want people to go out and
Super pro, super polite, professional. She just deals with it.
I'm creating operations.
11 minutes into a 58-minute thing, it's probably going to end.
I also work with these
Nope. And then maybe it'll end.
It takes a little bit of a brainchild.
Nope. And then maybe it'll end.
So you talked about fundraising.
$19.
I'm not perfect, but come on. Come on. So anyway, frustrated. The audio is basically torture, and I'm not perfect. I don't even try. But come on. It's a shame because Kellyanne deserves better intro, and they're only on episode 2. So come on. I'm not allowed to mansplain, but I'd be mansplaining that one. Then, what am I supposed to do? They keep doing this. Here's the next thing that they posted, and this is DC Project. I'm all about them, but this is their second
This
one.
is Women for Government.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing. There's just no audio for like the first 5 or 6 minutes. You know, whatever. I'm not trying to be a nitpick or whatever. And then this is the title. Moaner, August 27th. So all I'm saying is, come on. Come on. And then they're having AmCon for year 5. Come on. Planning a trip to, now we're done. Sorry, I got a bitch, but you know what? If you don't want to be mansplained to, then do it right. All right, next up is planning Dragon Man's trip. So, dude, I'm not going to try to get too far out of what we talked about on that chat. We talked about, on a live conversation, going to Dragon Man's for the Dragon Man machine gun shoot. It was pretty awesome. I've known about the Dragon Man machine gun shoot. And dude from California, who's now not in California, was asking about, because he's going, and he was asking about some stuff. So we went online, and then he's got this picture from the menu, basically, of what you can shoot at the machine gun shoot. And we spent like 90 minutes blabbing about what the different things are like and what to shoot. I think it came out to he's going to take about $1,000, and he's going to let his kid shoot everything Dragon Man's got to shoot. That's the spoiler alert. So I don't know if in link to my own videos, but that was a pretty fun one, pretty fun conversation to have. I think we did that Sunday night. Now I made a video over here. I think it's too long to play. Yeah, it's 24 minutes long. Here's 24 minutes worth of me telling AmCon that they should invite Clover, not just to be on their stupid panel, but to run the thing. But whatever, I like to mansplain. So I just figured I'd do it in a video. And now Clover gonna have to tell me whether or not this influenced whatever they invited him to do or whatever. Let's see. Then we got, oh shit, it's all messed up. So let's show what it's like to edit a video. You click on edit. Most people won't do this live in front of you because they're scared. I'll do it because I'm not scared. So we go over here and we find what we were just looking at, which is the Clover TAC, getting right in the middle of the AmCon thing, or with the AmCon thing, getting right in the middle of Dragon Man. And we move that out of the way. And then why don't we put Clover right there again, get rid of that space, get rid of that space, and then save. And now they're in a more logical order. Right there again. Boom. All right, so we'll go back down. All right, now you got the military thing. You got Dragon Man's link right there. Just talked about Clover. Now we get to NRA being canceled. I linked the Santee's video because everybody else wouldn't shut up about their stupid opinions of it. And Santee just did 13 seconds of letting people know, which I got more respect for. So NRA being canceled, I'm not going to blab about it here, but I believe that has more, I would believe that's a more important topic to talk about than some of the other distraction bullshit. It's getting a little brief segment of other people's show, but I haven't seen anybody focus on it directly. And I haven't seen anybody take the opportunity to invite everybody to Houston in spite of the show being canceled. Is there a law that says you can't go to Houston because the NRA decided to cancel? What do we do when SHOT Show gets canceled? We all just sit there. You know, there's a whole bunch of people that efforted. Why not take advantage of some of that, or at least capitalize on some of that? And if the big people don't want to be there, then start a new show. Everybody hates the NRA, but everybody's scared to do anything on their damn own. So whatever. Santee posted a 13-second video, and again, that's got the most respect for me because nobody else could spend the right amount of time on it. I think 13 seconds was about the right amount of time. Boom. I didn't do a video today. That was funna, but I didn't. So, I shouldn't probably link to this one. I don't know me. So this is Wilson Combat's video where Masad Ayub and Ken Hackathorn sit down, and Ken interviews Moss, and he says, Moss, you've been around for, effectively, this is a spoiler. He goes, Moss, you've been around for a long time, decades in the firearms community. You've been involved in lots of different aspects. Which aspect do you like the best? He gave him some choices, and Moss chooses training, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but not a big surprise. So then they keep going, and I believe what Ken was expecting to have an interview with Moss about was tech, was gear and bullshit, stupid shit that everybody likes. guns and shit. So Ken goes to Moss something like, and what do you think in the last whatever amount of time has been the biggest innovation to allow people to shoot or whatever, you know, in guns or whatever? And then Moss replied something like Dylan and his reloader, so that common people could shoot instead of just rich people and sponsored shooters. And you know, practice to the level where the competition evolves and, you know, things move forward instead of just perfecting whatever grandparents came up with. He didn't say it like that, but thought that was super cool. And then when Ken tries to pin him down on gear, Moss keeps going nuts on like 2A related stuff, like the awareness and the community and stuff. So it was a great interview. If you want to see what a true Second Amendment, not just a gun person, a completely capable and invested gun person, when asked about a stupid ass gun question, how they naturally move it down to 2A, because what's more important, what's more value, is listen to that interview. It's pretty good. I don't know how long it is, but that's what I meant to do a video this morning about, but I was tired, so I didn't. I'll just move it to next week or one other Friday. And on Friday mornings, I attempt to go in and do deep dives on channels. So we'll go in and do a deep dive on this Gun Guys series. This was episode 41, but super cool. I mean, people that invented some of the stuff that we do today and just think that's how it's done, you know, all this stuff evolved. And since some of this stuff evolved during the era of people writing stuff down and cameras and stuff and videos now, like literally some of the stuff evolved in front of everybody, and people can attribute it to whoever it was. And these are two of the humans that those many things are attributed to, and the other people on this Gun Guy show are such people. So it's super interesting to listen to competitive gun industry people, competitive shooters and gun industry people chat about the evolution of the sport and the community. And that's pretty much what they do on Gun Guys. There's probably episodes where they talk about gear and I just ignore those. Why are both of my doors opening and closing? Do I have two ghosts screwing with me? I think it's about the storm here. Let's see. So next up is this dude called Cash, and he's got a pretty good taste in AKs. I hope he doesn't care that I'm watching his or posting his videos over here. But he's been doing these sort of gun porn type of things. And this is back what I used to do back in the day. So I'm thinking about doing that, except mine were made with a potato instead of a camera. And I'm not going to, I don't have grass and all this fancy vegetation to put it up next to. But I can definitely consider doing some of these, I don't know what to call them, like displays. You know, he's got some of the mags and stuff with him on that little railroad thing. Or maybe that's not, maybe that's some sort of saddlebag, whatever it is. You know, it gives it some character, some interest. Anyway, pretty cool little videos if you're interested in AKs. Cash has some decent ones. His videos are good. Wheeled and Well Armed is out there. Well, he is a dude who does stuff, and he went to the Blade show earlier in the year. Ugh, stupid commercials. They're trying to get us all to put solar panels on their houses. So Wheeled went and did this video of some kind of knife he's got. I think he goes around stabbing watermelons with these. Anyway, I just decided to post one of his videos. I haven't posted one of his in a while. But it's just a knife video. You don't have to watch it. Let's see. Kingpin is also somebody I don't link to often, so I figured I'd link to him. And I thought this was interesting. He does a lot of little short, clever videos. He also posts them over on Odyssey. So if you're not familiar with, let's pause for a moment, and then we'll go back to that video. If you're not familiar with Odyssey, it is a video sharing platform. Let's put it that way. A platform where you can put your videos and others can watch them. However, you're putting your videos onto multiple computers. In other words, the people that are part of Odyssey agree to leave a portion of their computer hard drive open to Odyssey, and then Odyssey distributes these videos on lots of people's computers. I don't know if they're using blockchain for that, but in a way that no video lives anywhere. It's an accumulation of pieces that are everywhere. So it's difficult to ruin the system, but it's, I want to say, you know, it requires a level of participation in order to work. So it's an interesting platform because it has a participation factor in order to work. It uses these points over here to encourage participation. So I just wanted to take a moment and mention that Kingpin does have a channel over on Odyssey. And of the people that I follow out there doing things, he appreciates Odyssey more than most. So I'm going to link to his Odyssey thing, and hopefully that won't get me in trouble. But if you are interested in following Kingpin, check him out on both YouTube and Odyssey. And if you're interested in checking out Odyssey, Kingpin is somebody you might check out. I'll go back and just click on the main search. Clovertac is somebody you might want to go check out over there. Remember I talked about this guy named Clovertac earlier? What else we got? Liberty Doll is a girl. You can watch her over there. She talks about liberty and politics. I guess Travis also is over there. I think that's the defense dad. I'm probably going to get the video worked because I got too many links to Odyssey in it now. And I will put defense dad and then I'll quit doing it. So there you get an idea of how this Odyssey thing works. You can go check out some of those videos. Now we're going back to to Kingpin's video over here on the YouTube. It's 28 seconds long. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing because this audio is shitty, but it says YouTube boss wins an award from herself saying about how good she is with free expression. So she's a jerk, and Kingpin's illustrating that. And I think he's all butthurt about being like suppressed or something because of his values or what he says or something. Let's see. So that was Kingpin. I was on the Yankee show. Every once in a while, Yankee does this show called Shooting Left to Center, and he invites me and Matt on there. I just figured I'd talk about that in case anybody's like, why is that dude on that dude show? Whenever Matt started doing live chats in 2010 or something, Yankee used to come around and be weird. And then he would jump on and be live with Matt back in like 2010 or 11. And then by the time 2012 came along and we were on Hangouts, that's when everybody started jumping in. And I think of those days, there's nobody else live anymore that goes on the shows that was around back then. There might be some people that watch from way back then. But yeah, me and Yankee and Matt had just been chatting since back in the day. And the, whatever he's calling it, Shooting Left to Center is like the residual of that. Since Yankee doesn't go to match shows anymore, and I hardly go to match shows anymore, that's like the one thing that we all get together and chat on. So it's just sort of like old poker buddies or something getting together and playing a game once in a while. So this time it was just me and Yankee. Let's see, what to fear next? Okay, so on Saturdays, we do a new show. It's like the next level. It's not for everybody. So like if you're only half 2A or something, don't bother. Or if you're just getting into 2A, it's probably too much for you. But if you're sick of it and you're ready for the next, then that's what it is. So it's for people that are at the advanced level of 2A. We get together on Saturdays and fix everything for all the idiots that ruin it. That was pretty good. So I'm going to drink more water, and y'all are going to get a commercial for this dude that does a ripoff of the Daily Gun Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then he does a ripoff of the Meat Show on Saturdays. You take water and you filter it, and you let it sit for a while, like at least a day, and then all the chlorine and fluorine gas out of there. And then you squirt some lime juice on some ice, and you pour that water onto that cold, lemony ice, or limey ice, I guess. And that's pretty good. That's what I just drank off a glass of right now. All right. Then we get to the Polish dentist. You're going to go, that's racist. But no, they have dentists in Poland. Only the way that they do that dentistry is you have to shoot this pistol. Am I offline? What's going on? Am I still on the internet? Are we connected here? Okay. So, oh, it went over to Gunstreamer. That's why. Here's what it looks like on Gunstreamer.
So this is Russian or Polish? Polish PM60.
Oh well, there's your Gunstreamer servers for you. Let me go over to GunTube. Did I post it on GunTube? I did post it on GunTube. Oh snap, this is a 4-minute long video. We're not going to watch the whole 4 minutes. So basically this is a
Say this is Russian or Polish? Polish PM60.
It's a Polish Wonder 9, and you load it up, and it's a blowback. So it's got this reciprocating bolt, and you can see it goes about 4 or 5 inches or something, 4 inches back from the back of the receiver. And then you hold it up to your face and shoot it. And if you're not knowing what's going on, you shoot yourself in the bottom lip. The bolt comes back and smashes into your bottom jaw. And that's why they call it the Polish dentist, because it knocks out all your teeth. So there's not very many of transferables in the U.S. So this is, I don't even know. This was a long time ago. We were out at a private, no, this was a machine gun shoot for Chester. So this dude was running for sheriff here in Arizona, Tucson. And to raise funds, he had a friend of his who does foreign weapons familiarization courses for the Marines, bring out all these foreign weapons that the Marines typically train on. So they were all obviously used before the Marines got their hands on them because they still work. And you would get, I forget, something like $10 for a bag of 9mm, because nobody respects 9mm. And then you would put them in a magazine and then shoot them. So basically you just got a baggie of ammo, and then you'd walk over to a table and pick a gun and then load the mag yourself and then shoot it. It's amazing. It was awesome. You didn't win, but that was an amazing machine gun shoot. We did that on Sunday after going to the big machine gun shoot in Big Sandy, and then also going up to what is it called? Scottsdale Gun Club and shooting a full auto SCAR. Yeah, so anyway, that was a fun day. It was a long time ago. I think Enrique Sonora was out there that day shooting, his kid was shooting a bar, a little sawed-off bar. I don't know if he's out there tonight or not, but he posted something on Instagram. We might see that in a bit. All right, so that was the Polish dentist, and then I posted that on a couple of different channels or platforms, as you can see. Put it over on the GunTube and on Gun Streamer. If you want to go watch the whole video, it's like 5 minutes. I'd go watch it over on GunTube. It looks like it had the best playback. Let's see, this is a video that somebody commented on. I just put it in here, this multi-caliber Medusa. What the hell is this? Why the hell is there a shoe commercial on my Medusa commercial? So this is a video for the Medusa, which is a revolver that was made by a dude and made by some guy named something. I forget if it was Phillips or Rogers. But anyway, it was a revolver that can shoot all the 30 calibers. And 30 caliber, if you don't know it, is 38, 357, 9mm, and everything in that area. So all those bullets are really just 30 caliber. So that means if you make your bore 30 caliber and you make your cylinder a little bit more interesting, then it will hold both rimmed and center fire, or I mean rimmed and, what do they call that? Recessed rimmed semi-auto calibers. And yeah, so anyway, whatever year this was, 2013, that came through the shop, and couldn't get enough of it. Then we got another one later, I think, and we shot it. I don't remember, or maybe we shot this one, I can't remember anymore. But you got those little tabs, and those tabs hold the different rounds. So somebody had done something about this video, and I figured I'd post it again because it's a cool video. People don't know about that gun. Now here's the deal. What I should have did was link to Johnny Rollins Shooting Show, where he interviews the guy who made the Medusa. What? You're saying that there's a live interview with the guy who invented the M47 Medusa at NRA show one year? Yeah, in like 1993 or something? Yes. We talked about it on one of these shows before. Let's see. So that was almost everything. Next is another new series that we're doing. I can't even think about how many videos are in the queue right now, but we've got a lot of them because we're going to quit doing gun stuff and quit 2A. So we had to stock a bunch of videos for over the winter. And Mansplaining 2A is a series where we'll fix everything. So we don't have to worry about it. We'll just fix it. So that'll be the first in the series. And then each week we'll progressively fix something else that everybody else screwed up, and then it'll be over. By the end of that series, guns will be good to go. We'll have gotten rid of the NFA. All you got to do is listen to this show and then follow the advice over and over and over. We win. You're welcome. And then we've got 2 episodes of Johnny Roland's Shooting Show. So we already looked at GunTube a little bit today, but now we're going to go browse GunTube a little bit more, see what we got over there. Got Rogue Branchy posting something about 80% slides. I posted a video about the 6.8. As I mentioned, somebody was thinking they saw the first 6.8 video ever. Main Man puts a lot of stuff over there. See Clovertex posting videos again and has a couple of videos that just went up. I posted a few videos. That's what we're going to take a look at. And those have now been going up. And I was going to say this one Ghost here posted an interesting video where he refurbishes Bakelite grips and has them for sale. So then we're going to go back to the top of some of the stuff I posted, and let's see, this one's only 30 seconds and it's an ad for USPSA, so we're going to watch that on GunTube.
It's fast. It's exciting. It's challenging. It's fun. This is the USPSA, United States Rifle Shooting Association, the fastest growing sport in America today. If you'd like to become more proficient and confident with your firearm, meet new and interesting people, and compete with thousands around the world, join the USPSA. There's a local chapter near you.
And we're going to be adding that to our commercial list. So we'll be you'll be seeing that commercial again in the future. So we got a bunch of new stuff. Actually, we're going to play this one too, because this is definitely going. Wait, this one is definitely going up. And I just seen Echo was out here. So this one is for Echo.
You know, the best planned hunt can be ruined by the smallest thing, like ending up with the wrong ammunition. Hi, I'm Prince Gresham. Truth is,
This is GunTube now.
choosing the right load can make all the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful
All right, come on.
hunt. So, what's the best way to match your ammo to the game you're after? That's easy. Take the guesswork out of ammo selection. To make sure you get the right stuff when it comes to ammunition, see the real pro in your community.
So how cool is that? Back when NSSF wasn't a bunch of jerks, they had that guy who was Gus Grissom, who's some kind of gun writer who wore like an Australian hat all the time and a weird jacket. And then he would go around telling people what to do. And in this video, he says, hey, if you're an idiot, you don't know what kind of ammo to use, then don't be an idiot and go to your gun shop and ask them, because you're an idiot. And then at the end, he's like, your local gun shop is awesome, right? And then because this is going out, because NSSF is putting that out to everybody, you can jam your own gun shop's ad at the end. How awesome is that? That was super cool. I should be doing stuff like that today. Instead of going around acting like they're 2A, they should be doing stuff like that. So I want to think that's cool. I've been grabbing a bunch of stuff out of old Johnny Roland's, and we'll be playing them on this show and on other shows because I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop me. I put them on GunTube, so you can go watch them over there. Now we're going to go look at Instagram. First, say hey to people in the comments. Looks like people are jumping in. Andrew's out there, and Tar said, oh, hold on. We had some other stuff happening before, so hello. I don't have Instagram that I know of unless it's part of something else. Well, it is, but you don't have it unless you want it. That's actually somebody else that we were talking about. I think I've seen Armed and Feminine already. Shotgun with Charlie. Yep. I love the artistry and mechanics. To follow the progress and development of a design over the years and the solutions to problems are interesting. Restoring an old firearm is like restoring a painting. Interesting, yeah. Or like sometimes you'll see people restore like an old engine or an old machine of some sort, like an old slicing machine or an old, like, you know, whatever. So it's sort of the same thing. If I'm a little loopy, I'm on meds for sciatica. Sciatica, I don't know how to say that. Feel kind of like a crap or like a cheap date. Okay. So let's see. I think Ben was saying to how I carry off the follower. I think it's a pretty good channel for sure. Then we got a level one. Then there was the dragon fruit stuff. We got all that. Guns Barbecue decided to show up because he just claims to be 2A'er than everybody. And then echoes out there. All right, so that's how you get everybody. Now, I was going to go back to the comments and see how the poll is going. So, should riding shotgun with Charlie allow manufacturers to ride along? Yes, it's okay, or no, it's only for advocates. Well, it claims that there's 11 human beings watching, right? 13 now, so it's bullshit. It's already fake. So then we got 8 votes. So if we do the math, 13 minus me, that's 12. So 8 minus 12, there's 4 narcs out there. So that's what happens when you do stuff that's authentic and valid. The authorities got to watch, right? Because they're scared of the truth. So they're going to watch. And at this point, we've got 4 of them tagging along. Now, is that 4 different departments? Is that because they're inept and they need like 4 people to do the job of one, valid narc? I don't know. So look to your right and to your left. I don't know what that ratio is. It's hard to figure it out, but chances are there's a narc out there. So be careful. Let's see. Now it shifted. No, it's for advocates only. So riding shotgun with Charlie, we'll just end that so that the votes skew in the favor that I wanted it to come out. Notice how that works. Flipping this back over to live. We'll wait for the censorship and then boom. No, it's for advocates only. I'll let Charlie know that he's not allowed to have manufacturers on there anymore, that y'all have spoken. I'm not allowed to click on my own polls. So, you know what I'm saying? It depends on if you can vote or not. That's the main thing. So here's the next poll. Do we delve into Johnny Roland's? Wait, am I spelling that wrong? I'm probably spelling it wrong. There we go. I think. Question mark. All right, yes or no? So basically, that's what's left on this list is digging into Johnny Roland's shoot show. It's pretty awesome, but we don't have to dig into it if you're scared. But while you're voting, we're not going to fart around, just sit here like a bunch of other shows would just wait while you vote. We're going to go over to Instagram. First, we're going to take a look at whatever I posted because it's probably super important, and then we'll go look at what other people posted just out of courtesy. So there's a link to this show. Yesterday, barbecue went on, and I was eating this cashew ice cream made out of made out of cashews. But then the bottom, see how this orange is? I thought it was just orange coloring, but the label on the thing. Turns out that whole bottom was caramel, the same way that yogurt would be, right? So I started eating it, and then at some point, you know how ice cream will flip around or move around when it's in that container because it starts to melt on the edges. It did that. Before I knew it, the whole thing was covered in caramel, so it was kind of interesting. I didn't expect to see that coming. This is a little pepper box I post because every once in a while, here's how Instagram works. If you post too many words, everybody leaves. Like they don't like seeing words, so you got to post gun pictures, and then people stick around. What do you know? So this is a little. Who makes this? Sharps. So you'd have 4 barrels. There's a revolving firing pin, basically a record with a notch on it, and every time it would hit it would go to these 4 corners, and every time it hit a different barrel, it would be hitting the notch of this rimfire. Super cool little guns. Super cool little guns. So let's see. Then we make fun of the NRA, send me this stupid email right in the middle of everything that's going on. They send me an email about how I better hurry up and rejoin. Keeping in mind, I'm already a life member, and they've lost my life membership somehow. They don't count me as a life member, even though I'm already a life member. Or at least they don't recognize my life membership anymore. One of the things, like I say, since I'm not interested in doing 2A anymore, I just started to book or bank a bunch of videos. So this is a post to let people know. We've got the Mansplaining 2A where we fix everything. You're welcome. We're reading books about guns that people are too lazy or bored to read themselves. So you're welcome. We drop cartoons of all these people that think they're so good. They're doing 2A stuff so that you don't have to worry about looking at them. You can look at cartoons. You're welcome. We've made something like 5,000 videos. So in order to help you people watch our videos better, we have them in like hundreds and hundreds of playlists. So now every week we go back and look at our playlists so that you can more easily discover what videos of ours you're going to watch, you're welcome. Then on Mondays, we look at free movies that are over on YouTube and talk about them. You're welcome. What is this? Oh, this is Patreon. So when, how does this work? Well, you can either watch stuff for free, in which case they're probably trying to get you to do something, or you can create content by paying for it and then watch something that's valuable, that has actual worth, and that's what we do. We attempt to do. So there's other people on Patreon that are attempting to do their thing, and each week we look at 2 of them. So that's the deep dive into 2A, that supporting 2A on Patreon. Last year we did $2 for 2A. This year we're doing supporting 2A. You're welcome. Then we also have another video where, here's the deal, they're marginalizing us. Everything that happens when a violent asshole does an atrocity, what's the standby bullshit anti-manipulation move? Marginalized gun owners. Somehow associate that violent act with people who own property similar to that son of a bitch. Not like, oh, that guy ate carrots, so everybody who ate carrots is a potential killer. Or that guy drove a bus one time, so everybody who's taken a bus ever is an asshole. No, they go, oh, well, this guy, instead of all the other things he did this one thing, and anybody who's like that is also an asshole. Well, how do you push back against that? By education, instead of being like, hey, guess what I heard in the news, and here's my opinion of it, or guess what they're selling, and here's my opinion of it, or I need money, and here's something you can go buy, and eventually I get a couple of cents out of it. I'll do videos that are like, hey, guns are more than that, right? Guns are interesting. Guns have more to life guns are a bigger part of our life than violence. So I don't know how many of these we've got, but basically I keep a list on a piece of paper, and whenever I come up with a new one, then I make a new video. So you're welcome. And that's it. So we got a whole bunch of videos. Actually, there's a whole bunch more than that. We got a whole bunch of videos coming up that'll be, 1 a week type of series. Let's see, we got this Corn Pop Was Bad Dude patch, just FYI. Did this picture a while ago for clips. Look at that. These are uncircumcised metric bullets. So how they do things in Europe. There's when Clover broke the news on the NRA show being canceled like 3 days before anybody else even knew about it. There's when the Glock was coming in. We talked about that. That's a picture to keep people on Instagram happy because they need to have pictures all the time. That's locked and loaded. It's going live, so that pretty much is a week's worth of Instagram on ours. Oh, no, wait. That's almost a week's worth. There's Echo. What? This guy. Yep. So there's a week's worth of our Instagram. Now we'll go look at the Instagram, the rest of the people. So there's Clover posting a picture of his pet spider. I got a ton of spiders this year. Gizzard has got one of these life cards in 22 Magnum. That's what I'd want, except not in that color. Let's see. Mom at Arms. I'm talking about the new, How I Carry. So let's see what this says. See, it's like girl stuff, but that's what they do. So then you got Riding Shotgun with Charlie. What's this about? Editing Tuesday's show. Okay, that's what's exciting for him on Friday. Then you got, this is Moon Food. I'll thumb that one up. Doing a picture of some kind of Wonder 9. Oh, look, see, I get a tag on this one. Me, Gun Channels, that's Marco. That's the dude who helped build Gun Channels back in the day. That's Hashi, and then that's Pink. We're all the people that get tags. You people don't get tags. Star Snoop Dogg is out there. She does these videos. So there's this kind of video being made. Right? Probably going to get copyrighted for that. Yeah, Clover already talked about NRA being canceled. Makes sense that people don't want too many words. Instagram is mainly visual. Oh yeah, definitely. Plus my words make them go, oh, I don't do very much. And I just expect other people to do stuff that I'm unwilling to do. People don't like to hear that for some reason. I don't know how they do this. So either you put in the video and then I don't know how this works. So anyway, you see how the timing is on it? I mean, it's possible she choreographed it that good, but I suspect there's something you can do to fiddle with the choreographing and the video speed or something. Anyway, that's pretty neat. So that's the kind of stuff Star Snoop Dogg posts. That's pretty much what she posts all the time. Maybe little versions of that. And this isn't exactly what How I Carry posts, but that's the kind of 2 versions of girl and TikTok stuff. This one gets taken down all the time. She's constantly fighting with TikTok, where I don't think How I Carry is even on TikTok. She just does TikTok light stuff. That's Angry's dog. I've petted that dog. I've petted that dog's belly. Just saying. You haven't. I have. Gun policy, making fun of people by using this asshole. I don't like this guy. This guy has literally gone after gun people. So unless you're like making fun of this guy, I don't like using him or using his jokes. He's an asshole. Let's zip past some of this stuff. I don't know what all this is. Words. What's her name? That's this other girl. Napoleon Noir, DC Project. What? They're saying pray for our troops. This is some weird video that everybody was bitching about. Hey, you want to be distracted by shiny things so that you don't do what's necessary? Watch garbage. There's KD. This dude lives on Instagram. So I never get to watch this dude live because I always don't really pay attention to Instagram enough. Napoleon Noir worrying about making jokes about packaging and shipping. Gun-toting pacifist. He was talking about that gun on Gizzard's show earlier. So I guess these people post their Instagrams and then send them over to Gizzard for the Gizzard show. EDC guy. This is one of my favorite dudes to watch his circles. So let's go look at some of his circles and see what I'm talking about. So this is the circle part of Instagram. The square part of Instagram is one thing, and a lot of regular people use the squares, but then there's a whole nother part of Instagram in these circles. So this is pretty poignant. Let's go back a couple. He'll have this EDC guy will post stuff from all around the spectrum. So it's right now it looks like he's got a couple of things and then some important stuff. And this was also about Afghanistan. This is a book he wrote, so that's somebody talking about his book or using it as something. This is somebody talking about going live. This is a concealed carry. Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say it's a fashion show. He has posted for other fashion shows. Amanda Suffolcool does fashion shows, but there's other people that do them. All right, of course, exceptions or whatever it is. As soon as you click on something, it's not going to be the best examples. But normally this guy's circles are amazing. So that's why I follow that guy for sure. John Weissman, that guy is always posting revolver pics. This is Mike Pannone. So there's a couple of dudes that are legit, and this is one of them. And he posts not inspirational stuff. He just kind of posts. And if you consider it inspirational, that's cool. If you consider it informational, then that's cool. But this guy's in Tucson, and I met him. I've audited class before, one of his classes before, and I respect his technique and his style or what. But Clover is confirming that NRA is canceled. You can still go to Houston if you want, though. But anyway, so he posts some interesting stuff, not necessarily gotta watch it, but pretty decent stuff sometime. Dragon Man's daughter runs the shop. Curie Girl Gear does a lot of t-shirts and whatnot, interesting posts. This is MJS. He's over there opening up his range, so a lot of posts about that. Girl and a gun club. And then you got this gun store is a shop in Vegas, the one that's on Flamingo down between the one that's closest to the airport. They got new management, I guess, and they're about to open on September 5th. So they've been posting a lot. Cody Firearms Experience is a cool gun shop right outside the east gate of Yellowstone. So they get something like, many millions of people drive by, and their place is pretty awesome. One of my favorite gun shops, mainly because of their location and what they offer. The World, this is their giant billboard. That's the east gate of Yellowstone. Millions of people literally go down this road into Yellowstone, both national, people that are taking vacations here and people internationally, and they get this big shoot guns, right? And it points down. They don't have, here's the van right here. So they have a van that says shoot guns. So now it's decent and it's not some kind of weird place that has a car or something. And then you go in there and you can shoot real guns, all kinds of different rentals. You can also shoot their, what do you call that thing? Like a shooting gallery with guns that shoot light beams, that are for like kids, like a shooting gallery where you knock stuff over and whatnot. They've also got some other, this is the shooting gallery, but they've also got like, is it airsoft or something? They got something else even further back. So lots of stuff to do there year round, hands-on stuff, real stuff. You can shoot everything from a Gatling gun, right, all the way up to modern stuff, but like lots of old-fashioned stuff. This is Cody, so the Cody Dug-Up Gun Museum is there, and there's some other museum there that people go to, and those are focused on firearms. So the firearms that you can shoot at the Cody Firearms Experience are historical up to modern, and they have this awesome display on the wall that's literally better than, well, it's different than the Dug-Up Gun Museum, but it's better than the other museum that gets all the attention in that town. I'll just say it at that. So I follow that gun shop. It's pretty awesome. You got the National Association of African Gun Owners. Is that how it is? National African American Gun Owners Association. I think that's how it is. And so they've been shooting a bunch or posting a bunch. Unfortunately, they canceled their inaugural convention 2 weeks ago or something this month, which if they would have had theirs, it would have happened in spite of the NRA one. That would have been an awesome turn of events. It didn't happen though. You got Ed's Manifesto. If you're not following this guy, I don't even know. I don't know what he's doing here. Putting some kind of age filter on, I guess. What is BP Armory? I don't know, but that's a Chinese 86, a Chinese Type 86 bullpup AK. This bayonet's pretty awesome. Do they know they're missing the belt clip? I don't know. Dude from Tucson, the philosopher. You got, well, this kind of is pretty neat. This guy's from India, the Sikh Armory, and he does all kinds of stuff, making fun, well, basically calling out some of the, I guess he does it in his circles. In his circles, he'll call out all these weird India channels that, do you know there's channels in India that post about guns, and they're kind of like Yahoos half the time, I guess. So he calls them out, and then he's a gunsmith, so he's making guns and stuff. Mix Flip, if you know him from YouTube, he's been around for a while. M13 is one of the gunsmiths up in Vegas. That's pretty awesome. We went in and chatted with them when we gone up there before. Learned a lot from them. I'd like to learn more about gunsmithing. I've never actually chatted with them too much about gunsmithing other than some basic stuff or some specific stuff that I had questions about, but learned about the rental machine guns up in Vegas and how big a deal that is. Super cool. And how many rounds Vegas goes through. Holy moly. So the amount of cool guns that Vegas has for rent, you put all those different rental places together and they're competing with each other, so they don't all want the same guns. I mean, they do have some similar guns, but lots of different guns, and this is just one of the gunsmiths. And I think only an armorer in a military training unit, or an armorer associated with a training unit, might see guns that have this much use. So super neat. Just talking and watching a channel that's not an asshole egotistical jerk either. He's not hoarding information. He doesn't really care about sharing it because he's doing stuff at a level, and he's got such a experience level at this point that few are going to be able to keep up, even if he showed them exactly what he's doing. This is a Romanian. Oh, a transferable Valmet. Oh, so this is one of the Red Dawn Valmets. Fuckers, this is one of the guns that was brought in, I'm guessing, as a Valmet pre-86, transferred or converted into a machine gun, which means that it was transferable. It was done if it was converted to a machine gun pre-1986, it is still transferable, which makes it super valuable and interesting. But it is it's a Valmet that's made up to look like, I guess in this case, a Russian RPD. Very cool. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of stuff you get to watch if you look at that. Wild Bunch Film Festival is placed down here, I think. I think it's in Arizona. Anyway, they do like modern cowboy movies and stuff. It's a film festival, you can imagine. Some people, there's Rifle Dynamics doing something. American Suppressor Association doing something. Capitol Armory doing something with the suppressors. What do you know? Oh, can we stop calling it a cup of joe? It's offensive to coffee. That's Handgun Hideouts. A bunch of people know them from Oh, snap. They're calling out Joe all over the place today. So let's take a look at that. Handgun hideouts, though. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Is some people that we met at Tulsa. And I'm pretty sure this dude and some of the other dudes have done interviews with them before. They hollow out books and make book safes, hide in plain sight kind of things. Lots of interesting books. And I'm not sure how it works, if they just do them and they're one size fits all, or they probably have multiple ways to grab them. But I think I messed up. And by not opening that in a new, oh no, it opened right back up. So here we go. We got stop calling it a cup of Joe. All right. Jihad Joe. I don't like that one. It's stupid. I don't mind making fun of the president, but he's still our fucking president. Trader Joe's, where everything's for sale, including your freedom. Yeah, I don't like that one. What is it called when you knowingly, purposely supply your enemies with weapons and ammunition? Well, learning curve, unfortunately, but we're going to be the brunt of that. About your Humvee's extended warranty. I guess that's funny. I don't get those phone calls. Right now, Trump would be telling the Taliban and ISIS that we'll let them know when we're ready. I don't like that. Trump ain't all that good. I listened to Trump today, and I don't have much use for that guy. A president wouldn't be selling a different president out. A president is of the United States, not a president of not the other guy. So, not interested in that right now. What's going on with this? This is a 17L. Probably with some kind of insignia on it, maybe Romanian because it's next to that Romanian. Oh, you guys probably can't handle that guy's channel. Got Duke's, which is a gun shop. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Canics. Did you know you can get a Canic with a little baby Canic that comes with it? So let's say you buy a 45 ACP Canic, it'll come with a 9mm Canic right away. There's American Suppressor Association. There's that kind of cat hanging out at the suppressor company. Cowboy Museum. I might actually cancel this one. It's kind of getting boring. Scottsdale Gun Club. I don't know why I follow them. Tactical Outfitters is a patch place. Sometimes they post interesting things. Most of the time, they just post pictures of patches. What do you know? All right, well, so at this point, I'm getting bored of it, so we're going to quit Instagram, but the goal is to chat about more than just what's on stupid YouTube all the damn time, right? So I'm going to drop another link out to our store. I forget to do that enough, and we do have a store. It's called Gear Website, since we're looking at it. We got a bunch of stuff over there from Red Dawn Wheat. Still up. Some of it's not sold out. Some of it is. And we're always making new stuff. I did just get a new part for the sewing machine. It didn't quite fix it. It's better, but it hasn't it's not like I can start sewing and walk away. So unfortunately, it isn't like a night and day difference, but it did at least get some threads down without being destroyed constantly. Anyway, we are in a battle for taxes and bills. We have a couple other things heading up to the store. If you're a Patreon, stay tuned for our Patreon swap meets where you can grab stuff out of my collections. All the stuff that doesn't get scooped up by Patreons will be available out on eBay and probably Gunbroker for some of it, right? So again, thanks to people who grab stuff at the store. If you happen to grab stuff during the show, it'll make a noise on my phone, and I'll say things like, thank you for that. All right, so now we're going over to the poll. Oh, it looks like nobody wants to hear Johnny Rollins, and that's it. That's the end of the poll. So we're going to end without listening to Johnny Roland. There was all kinds of interesting stuff in there, including Steel Challenge from 1989, awesome Speedloaders for Smith & Wesson 686, thing about accidents in the home from NSSF when they were still good. Gun Owners America talking about Luby's Cafeteria. So that was interesting, like at the time. And then some other stuff about guns and magazines and things. So yeah, we'll talk about Johnny Roland elsewhere. The last thing I'm going to bring up is, I don't even know how to say this, binaural beats or something. I heard about this on Liberty Bell's Patreon, I think. She was saying something about this concept where, I don't know, has anybody heard of this before? You listen to this noise and it sounds kind of like, I guess it sounds like music a little bit. It sounds more like just elevator music, I guess. There's some amount of, there's fluctuation to a sound, and I guess you could call it music. It's simple, noisy kind of music. Anyway, I guess you listen to this and it's putting two different frequencies into each ear, like a different frequency into each of your ears, and that's somehow supposed to help some brains work better, to harmonize the brains or focus the brains better. And that's supposed to, if you're working on a project that's boring and you'd have the potential to be distracted or to be distracted, I guess, then this is supposed to affect that. Like, not supposed to, I don't know, I've never heard of it before. So allegedly she tried it and was much more productive, and she's not sure if it's a placebo thing or if it's actually working. So I figured I'd throw it out there. Allegedly there's 14 people watching. However, based on the results of that last poll, I'm guessing it's just a bunch of narcs parking in. Probably what happens is at the end of the week, the narcs, have to have like a list of shows that they watch that they narc on, and they probably just pile into whatever shows are left on Fridays. So we'll just ignore that. We'll say thanks again to Patreons. The whole time we've been doing this, we have a banner down at the bottom, and it says our Patreons make it possible for us to spend time on projects like this one. Oops, I unclicked it. Other projects include the show we'll be doing tomorrow, Ask Gun Questions, the shows we normally do on Friday mornings, which is deep dives into Pro 2A channels, where we look at the channels, we go back into their playlists and into their video lists, and we usually dig into them and then pick out the top 10 videos from that channel. Each Friday we do that live. On Saturdays now, we go live. I'm going to jump over to our channel so I can go find what this week's topic is going to be. But each Saturday we go live and chat about what's next, the next level of 2A. So of course this week we're going to figure out who to blame and point figures at, because we know we didn't do anything wrong. It has to be somebody else's fault. We'll figure that out. But really what we'll be doing is scaring away all the losers, and we'll chat about real Second Amendment topics, the kind of stuff that would be awesome if it happened at Gun Rights Policy Conference, except that's not going to happen. Or in the evenings at SHOT Show or NRA Show, there's the potential that kind of stuff can happen. Or we can create a room and invite people in and attempt to make it happen on Saturdays, or at least allow it to happen on Saturdays. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to continue to call them weird names so that people go away and don't come around who just want to talk about news of the week or complain and look for reasons to quit. We'll continue to inspire and to look for whatever's next. We'll also delve a little bit into other platforms and how to communicate besides just on the big major stuff. So that's another thing. What else do we do? On Mondays, we go live with Patreons to talk about the stuff going out on the Patreon swap meets. And I think that's as much live stuff as we do right now. There are some other things that happen each week live. We post those now at gunchannels.com. So Gun Channels used to be this awesome community for 7 years, millions of views a month. People would come in and hang out and have fun. Now it is a list of all kinds of stuff that happens either daily, on a specific day of the week, weekly, monthly, or occasionally. Something that we're missing from the list that's 2A specific and not just a bunch of people bitching or moaning or trying to sell you something, then we'll definitely put it on the list even if they weren't Gun Channels members, because the goal is to just have a place where people can keep track of the stuff that's valid. We'll continue to work on stuff on this end. Gunmetal gave us a thumb up. Nobody else is really saying anything. If you did order something from the store today, I only had 3 orders, or actually 2 orders coming into the show today, but I know the thing rang a few times. I don't like to go over and look at it while we're live, so I'll jump over there and take a look after, and then we'll set something else or something up for tomorrow afternoon, maybe between the Ask Gun Questions and when G23 goes live. We'll squeeze something in there to let people pick what their free patch will be. And again, appreciate the people that purchase stuff from the store. Appreciate the people that watch us live. Gunmetal was out here. CloverTack's out here. Oh, you know what? I'll do another poll. Nobody wanted to talk about Johnny Rowland. Does anyone want to chat air? That way I will ask ahead of time. Yes and no will work. And I won't bother sending out the link and sitting there if no one wants to chat. Like I say, I got some other things I can work on. It is not light out anymore, so I can do stuff in the house, I guess. But with that, I think we will wrap it up. I'll go look for a commercial to play, which will give everybody a little time to vote on that poll. And let's see, nobody suggested a commercial, so we already played the Locked and Loaded one. why don't we do, and then I think we also did the barbecue one. Here's the first commercial I ever made, so that makes it the shortest commercial I ever made. G23 will be live tomorrow. It goes live every Saturday usually. I think he said he'd be live tomorrow. And if so, it'll be between our Ask Gun Questions show and the barbecue meat show that happens after that. So feel free to check that out. Again, thanks for showing up live. If you're listening to this in the future and you have a chance, leave a comment. Otherwise, if you're a Patreon, say hey once in a while. Let me know how you're listening to the show. Like I said, I have a lot more insight into how Patreons are listening, and I do appreciate that. So I get kind of caught into the, what do you call it, the immediateness, maybe, immediacy of the live stuff. And I forget that people listen to this after the fact. In fact, most people listen to this after the fact. So in an attempt to say thanks to those people, that's what I'm doing right now. We'll be back to pick you up. What's going on over here? I would love to chat offline if this could be an option in the future. Right now, dealing with somebody at work. I hear that. So let's go look at the results. We got 50-50 with 2 votes. In that case, I am going to not put the link out there. I don't think there's anybody live right now. Is there? Is there? No, nobody's live right now. So I guess I hate to leave you hanging, but we didn't get enough votes to really open it. And if somebody wants to chat offline, let me know. Otherwise, we will be back to pick you up later. Wait, hold on. Let's get Clover's thing off there. We'll be back to pick you up later. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.
Right, well, the gate 2 ping. Got 2 votes over here, so I threw the link out there if you want to jump in. Feel free. Otherwise, talk to you next week.